In today's video, I'm gonna show you how to live stream to YouTube using OBS. It's gonna be a beginner's guide, so let's get into it. So the first thing you need to do, you need to go to obsproject.com and make sure you download the latest copy of OBS. If you're on Windows, get the Windows version. If you're on Mac, get the Mac version. Just click to download, and once it's downloaded, it's gonna get into your download folder. Just click to wait. Follow instructions. Is super easy. So once you're done, you're gonna go ahead and open OBS. Just type in the search bar OBS and open it. A fresh copy of OBS is gonna look like this. So the first thing we need to do, we need to add our webcam and our microphone. So under scene here, these are gonna be your scenes, and we're gonna have sources here. So basically, scenes is like combination of everything I need: microphone, camera, graphics, and things like that. It's called a scene. Now sources are more like those things, like a microphone is a source, a camera is a source, or a webcam is a source, things like that. Graphics, source, text, source, right? So the first thing we're gonna create, I just call it main. Okay, you can call it whatever you want. By the way, you may have a scene that's already there, so what you can do, you can go ahead and right click on that scene, and then you can rename it, and then you can change the name. Okay, it's just call it main. So under that scene now, we're gonna go ahead and hit the plus sign, and then we're gonna add what we call a video capture device. Now I have a webcam connected. If you have a webcam, it's gonna show up, and that's what we're gonna be using. I'm using the Opus Mate 2. I'm gonna leave a link down below, and that's gonna name it, they say webcam. Click OK, and then we're gonna go under device, and we're gonna look for the name of our webcam. Yours may be different, but mine is Opus Mate 2 stream camera. And then we're gonna go under resolution type. We're gonna go click custom, and resolution we're gonna choose 1920 by 1080, and FPS we're gonna go ahead and choose 30. Everything else we're gonna leave it the way it is, and just click OK, and then boom, we have our image. However, if we were to go live right now, we wouldn't have audio. That's why we're gonna go ahead and hit the plus sign, and then we're gonna add an audio input capture. So that's gonna be our microphone. Right now I have my microphone connected to an interface. If you have a USB microphone, whatever you have is gonna be connected to your computer. We're just gonna go ahead and call it mic, click OK, and then we're gonna go under device and look for the name of our microphone or interface that's connected to the computer, usually using a USB cable. So that's gonna be, for me, the Rodecaster Duo main stereo, and then I'm gonna click OK. And as you can see now, I have a signal. So we have an image and we have an audio. So now that we have our microphone and our camera ready, it's time to go live, and we need to go to our YouTube channel and make sure we logged in. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna go here where it says create, and then go to go live. And then basically, if this is your first time and your channel is not approved for live streaming, you're not gonna be able to get what you're seeing right here. If you go under stream or manage, it doesn't matter. YouTube is gonna prompt you to actually get approved first. If you go through the process, it's gonna take you 24 hours. Okay, so once you get that, you're gonna come back and we're gonna be able to actually go live. Now if you're already approved, then you can leave this tab. But if you're not, you're gonna go through the process and come back after 24 hours and watch this video again. All right, so now since we know that we are approved, we're gonna go back to OBS, and then we're gonna go under settings, and then we're gonna go to stream. And the first thing, we're gonna make sure our settings look right. So under service, you want to make sure you choose YouTube RTMPS, and then server, you want to make sure you choose primary YouTube ingest as server. And then here you want to make sure you go ahead and actually choose connect account. This is recommended. So once you do that, so you want to make sure you choose the email that's associated to your YouTube account, and then follow instructions and give access to your YouTube account. So basically right now you're gonna get this message that says authorization is completed, and that means OBS has access to your channel. So when you go back to OBS here, you can see that it says connected account, and then it's gonna say the name of your channel, which means it's really connected, no problem. You want to make sure hit apply, and then once you're done, we're gonna go ahead and take care of the settings. So we're gonna go under output here, we're gonna go under streaming. You want to make sure output mode is set to advanced. You want to make sure you go to video encoder. If you have a dedicated graphics card, make sure you choose NVIDIA NVENC H264. If you don't, you can try with X264, but chances are you may have issues because that's your computer processor, sometimes can be slow. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and choose NVENC H264, and then we're gonna go under encoder settings. We want to make sure you choose constant bit rate. Want to make sure bit rate we put it at 10,000 kbps. Now you want to make sure your internet connection is actually good. At least have 20 megabits per second of upload speed. To do that, you can go to Google and just type in test my internet speed, and then just do a quick test and look at your upload speed and see how much you have. Now keyframe interval, you want to make sure you put at 2 seconds. And then preset here, you can play with different presets, but usually slow good quality or medium quality should work. Mine, I always keep it at slow good quality. Everything else you can leave it the way it is. Just copy my settings the way they look, no problem. And then the last thing we're gonna fix is gonna be, we're gonna go to base canvas resolution. You want to make sure it's actually 1920 by 1080, and output resolution, you want to make sure it's 1920 by 1080. Again, this you could do it actually before we even add the camera, but most of the time by default is going to be at this resolution. And common FPS, you want to make sure it's actually set at 30 frames per second, unless you're gaming. If you're gaming, you can actually put it at 60 frames per second. But if you're doing a talking head video like what I'm doing, you can just leave it at 30 frames per second. Once you're done, hit apply and hit OK. So right now we are ready to go live. Now you have few docs here that are going to appear. This is where the chat is going to appear, and you have the YouTube live control panel. If you want, you can log in and you're gonna be getting some data from YouTube simply by using your Gmail account. That's like the way we did it. That's associated to your YouTube account, and log in. But for me, I don't need it. I'm just gonna close it. You can keep the chat one, which is more interesting. All right, so the next thing we need to do, we're gonna go ahead and set up our live stream. So we're gonna go to manage broadcast, and then we're gonna create a new broadcast. So we're gonna title it, so you can just call it test. For you, you're gonna call it whatever you want. And then description, you want to put a real description, but for now we're gonna put a test. And then for privacy, you want to make sure you actually put a public category depending on what you're doing. If it's gaming, you're gonna choose gaming. If it's sports, you're gonna choose sports. If it's a comedy, whatever it is, for now I'm gonna just call it entertainment. Is this made for kids? You want to make sure you choose no, unless it's made for kids. And if it's made for kids, you're gonna have some restrictions, because it's just a community thing with YouTube. They have to protect children. However, if you're just streaming a normal stream, it is not specifically made for kids, then you want to make sure you choose no, it's not made for kids. And most of the time it's really not made for kids unless you make kids content. Now you want to make sure you also add a thumbnail, so click here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use a random thumbnail here, and you want to make sure you design ahead of time. And latency, you can actually keep it to normal, and everything else you can actually leave it the way it is. And then you can just either create broadcast, or if you want to create and go live right away, you can actually go ahead and hit create broadcast and start live streaming. Right now the stream is being created, and as you can see, it says stop streaming. That means it's being streamed to YouTube. And if I go to my channel, you can see that we have a live stream going on. You can click on it and you can actually watch it, no problem. And then boom, we are live on YouTube. Again, your chat is gonna show up right here, and you wanna make sure you sign in to be able to see it and to be able to send messages as well. However, this is just one scene. If you wanna do a dynamic live stream, you wanna make sure you add some other things, like maybe a countdown timer before you go live, so people can count down from like 5 minutes to like 0 and then go live. Maybe you wanna share your screen, or maybe you wanna have a guest on your stream. So many cool things that you can do when live streaming, other than just having a simple webcam and a microphone. And to do that, I have another video that I made showing you how to build a full OBS show for live streaming, all the things that you need, how to manage audio, how to add overlays, just to make sure you look professional when you go live. I'm gonna link that video right here. Make sure you check it out, guys, and I'll see you there. Take care.